Okay, I'm so excited for this. We are now beginning our very last chapter in our book. That's the Step Up to Third Grade chapter. My students always love getting to this chapter at the end because we're going to start working on multiplication. So we're getting ready for third grade. You're going to be doing this multiplication a lot next year as you're in third grade, but we're going to introduce the topic today and start practicing it today so you'll be totally ready for third grade next year. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. You should have already watched the video in Pearson Realize that introduced it to you. It's the one with the eyeball symbol. And now we can begin. Miss Witt bought 3 boxes of paint with 5 jars of paint in each box. What is the total number of jars Miss Witt bought? Solve this problem any way you choose. We learned that there's more than one way you could have solved it. You could have drawn it out, a picture. You could have made equal groups. We can make a bar diagram. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one with a bar diagram. I'm just going to pick one. So let's go ahead and make our bar diagram because each of these boxes in a bar diagram looks like a box. And in this word problem, it says he bought boxes, 3 boxes. So here are my 3 boxes. Okay, each box had 5 jars of paint. So I'll just write the number 5 in each box. What is the total number of jars? So I have 5 plus 5 plus 5. Or I can write this as a multiplication problem. I'm adding the same number over and over again. Remember, for multiplication problems, it must be the same number being added over and over again. If I had 4 in one box and 3 in another box and 2 in another box, then that cannot be multiplication. You can only use adding to figure that one out. But since these are all the same number, then I can use it as multiplication because they're all being the same. So multiplication is when you repeat the same number, you're adding the same number over and over. So I have 3 5s that I'm adding. So I'm adding 5 3 times. So I'm going to put 3 times and the number 5. 3 times the number 5. And then we can add that up. 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. So that was one way to solve the problem. Now down here at the bottom it says, how can you use a picture to show the math you did in the problem? So we can draw it out. So I'm going to have here 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes. And I'm going to show it as a picture. There are 5 paint cans in each one. So I'll just do circles as paint cans. Okay, and then the same thing, we're going to draw it out. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is the same thing as 3 times 5, which will equal 15. If I add up all these paint cans, I will see that it will equal 15. Okay, back side. Here, Jessie used 3 bags to bring home the goldfish she won at the fun fair. She put the same number of goldfish in each bag. How many goldfish did she win? And then it's telling us right here that there are 8 inside each bag. So here are all the different ways you can do it. You can use the counters and put 3 groups of 8 in your counters. Okay, and then she wrote it down as a bar diagram down here. Just like we did on the front, we're adding 8 3 times. You could do it as multiplication. So she did the bar diagram here, but instead of writing 8 plus 8 plus 8, she wrote 3 times 8 because we're adding the same number. Now these numbers here, this is good vocabulary words for you to remember. The 2 numbers that you are multiplying are called factors. And then the answer that you get after you multiply it is called the product. So remember those, factors and product. All right, and then you could also just write the equation to help you. Since we know that there's 8 inside each bag and it's the same number and there are 3 bags, you can just write 8 3 times and add it up, or you can write 3 times 8. Any one of these ways will get you the same answer. Okay, suppose Jesse won 5 bags of 8 goldfish. Draw a bar diagram and write an addition equation and a multiplication equation to represent the problem. So let's draw our bar diagram. If there are 5 bags of goldfish, how many boxes should I make in my bar diagram? Right, I need 5 boxes. So let's put 5 boxes here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what number should I put inside each box? Okay, each box needs to have the number 8 because there were 8 goldfish in each bag. Now that I have my bar diagram, which number goes up here? We need to figure out what it adds up to. Okay, what's the addition equation I need to write? 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. There needs to be 5 of them. Okay, and if you were to add it all up, 8 added 5 times, let's see. I know 8 plus 8 is 16. So these two are 16, these two are 16, and one more is 8. Let's add that up to see what we get. 6 plus 6 is 12. That's a double. I could do that in my head like that. And then 12 plus 8 more is 20. So I'm going to regroup. 2 tens plus 1 10 is 3 tens, plus 1 more 10 is 4 tens. So it equals 40. Okay, now we need to do it as a multiplication equation. What multiplication equation can you write? Let's see, we added the 8 5 times. So our multiplication problem should be 5 times the number 8. And we know adding up 8 5 times, since we already did it, we know it is 40. Okay, next page. On this one, I'm only going to be doing the odd numbers with you on the video, and then your homework will be to do the even numbers. So let's look and see what we have. Can you write 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12 as a multiplication problem? Can we do that? Yes, we can do that because each number is the same number. You cannot do it if they are different numbers. It has to be the same number. So we're going to say yes, you are adding the same number. Okay, we don't have a whole lot of room to write there, so you'll need to write a little small. Okay, I'm going to skip number 2, and you're going to do that for your homework. And now number 3. Write an equation, and write an addition equation and a multiplication equation to solve this problem. Matt buys 3 bags of apples. There are 6 apples in each bag. How many apples does Matt buy? So what multiplication problem would match this question here? Okay, you should have written 3 bags, so 3 times the number 6, because there were 6 in each bag. 3 times 6, and if I add up the number 6 3 times, 6 plus 6 plus 6, it equals 18. Okay, number 5 over here. We need to use the pictures to help us see what that is. Blank groups of 2. How many groups do I have? There are 3 groups. So we're adding, here I see the addition symbol, so I'm adding right now 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, there were 3 2's. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. So here, 3 times 2, because I'm adding the number 2 3 times, it will equal 6. Okay? All right, number 7. I see 3 groups of, now I'm not telling how many groups there are, I need to say how many are inside each group. So let's look at each group. How many is in each group? I see that there are 4 in each group. There are 3 groups of 4. So what is the addition equation? 4 plus 4 plus 4. And it equals 12. Now, what is the multiplication problem? 3 times 4 equals 12. Because I'm adding the number 4 3 times. Okay, number 9. Use counters or draw a picture to help. What equation, what addition equation equals 2 times 7? So, here I'm taking the number 7 and I'm going to add it 2 times. So let's write that on the side. 7, we're adding it 2 times. We found our addition equation. 7 plus 7 equals 2 times 7. Okay? Number 11. We have the addition equation and we need to change it to a multiplication problem. So what should I write here? Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to count. I know that I'm adding the number 6 over and over again. How many times am I adding it? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times I added the number 6. 4 times the number 6. Okay, back side. Number 13. Erin reads 54 pages of her book. The book has 93 pages in all. How many pages does Erin have left to read? Show your work. Okay, we need to decide if we're adding, subtracting, or multiplying on here. Would multiplication make sense in this type of problem? No, we are not adding the same number over and over again, so that would not make sense. Okay, if there are 93 in all, she's already read 54, we need to decide how much she has left. So if I drew a bar diagram, I would put 93 on top, because that's how many were in all. She's already read 54. We need to figure out how much she has left. So what equation should we write? 93 minus 54. And that'll tell us the question mark. Let's regroup because you can't do 3 minus 4. So let's regroup. 13 take away 4. And I now have only 8 tens left. So 13 take away 4 is 9. And 8 take away 5 is 3. She has 39 pages left. So please read these word problems carefully because they may not always be multiplying just because we're practicing multiplying right now. They're going to have different types of questions. Remember, multiplying is only if you're adding the same number over and over and over again. Okay, number 15. George says you need equal groups to multiply. Is George correct? Why or why not? Yes, George is correct. Because multiplying is adding the same number. Okay, so they have to be equal because it's the same number. And last one for our video. Drew earns $6 each week. He wants to know how much money he will have saved after 5 weeks. How can you represent this? Choose all that apply. Okay, there's going to be more than one way to show this. Okay, he's working for 5 weeks. And every single week, he'll get $6. So he's earning the same amount every week. Week 1, he's going to earn $6. Week 2, he'll earn $6. Week 3, he'll earn $6. So let's see, does this match? Does this show $6 being earned every week for 5 weeks? Let's see, $6. Let's see if it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this shows he's getting 5 weeks of pay and $6 for each week. That would work. Okay, what about 6 times 6? Does that match the problem? No, this does not match the problem because he only worked for 5 weeks. So that doesn't work because that shows getting it for 6 weeks. So that does not work. What about adding 6 plus 5? Does that match the problem? No, because that's only showing 2 weeks of getting paid and they're not the same amount for each week. And we know he got $6 for each week, so that doesn't match either. Okay, what about this one? We have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Does that match? No, it needs to be $6 every time for 5 weeks. That does not match. $6 times 5. So he's getting $6 and he's getting it for 5 weeks. Would that match? Yes, it does. Okay, those are the two that match. And for your homework, now you're going to go back on the same page and do all of the even numbers.